Call me old man Wade.
Damn you, old man!
Wait.
Old ass man.
Shut up, old man. You smell like fart.
No!
Old man.
He's so old, he got a podcast on cassette.
Fuck, you're old.
Damn it, Wade.
And welcome to the Old Man Wade Show. I am your host, the God of Stubborn, the Lord of Laughter, Old Man Wade. And I got a special guest in here with me today. Randomly found her on Instagram going through the search thing, and I seen somebody posting some nerd stuff, and I was like, let me see what this is all about. And I was pleasantly surprised that I agreed and disagreed with a lot of shit she said, but it also led to a lot of conversations with people. Some of them were great and thought provoking. Some of them were just incels being assholes. So why don't you introduce yourself?
Yo, what's up, everyone? My name is Fantastic Frankey. I am the fanboy fighter who fights for the good of all female nerds who likes to beat their face, but also wear graphic tee. So I'm very excited to be here.
That's dope. I'll ask you a couple times. Before that, but where can they find you on Instagram? I know you're actually new to Twitter, so give me a minute.
Yes, I just got hyped on Twitter. So you can find me on Instagram at Fantastic Frankey. Fantastic is spelled regular. Frankey is Frankey. Or you can find me on Instagram at Fanboy Fighter, all spelled regular.
So here's a question: Why what got you into nerd culture? What got you into that? What was your introduction? Because I know everyone's intro is usually different. For me, it was my uncle in comic books. So what was yours?
Yeah, definitely. I was born into this world. My dad is a huge comic book fan, and my mom tells me stories about I couldn't go to bed without him playing Michael Keaton Batman for me and things like that.
Wow.
So that kind of rolled over to me starting to like comic books. I've always been into reading, and just the escape of it all always appealed to me. And then I'm also a child of Toonami, and that really got me heavy into anime. And as I got older, or just as I got to see more anime and how much different types of anime there were, I would get into it. So both of them are just small introductions as a child that snowballed into I'm a full adult just reading comic books and watching cartoons all day.
Yeah, it's funny you can the age gap, because for you it was Toonami and you were Michael Keaton's Batman. I'm oh, and Zai. I saw that in the theaters with my mom and dad. I'm an '80s baby. I was born in '82, so I remember going to the movie theaters with seeing that and the sticky popcorn floor and all that.
The first Batman movie I went to see was Batman and Robin with George Clooney, and I was obsessed. And to be honest, I'm still obsessed. I mean, the puns. I love everything Arnold Schwarzenegger does, and still does, and. Yeah, I love Uma Thurman. She had a really good run, and she stopped before it got terrible.
All right, you know what? Since we're here, I'm gonna have this conversation. I like that movie. It is exactly
yes.
So everyone hates that movie. I go look, take the movie. I actually wrote an article about that. I do. I read articles on this website called Bam Smack Pow. Excuse me, and I did one about Batman and Robin being underrated, because people take it so serious, no, it's not supposed to be that. It was supposed to be campy, it was supposed to be goofy, you know what I mean? So if they marketed that as a comedy, it would be one of the most beloved Batman movies ever, because it's not much different than Adam West.
Yeah, you know what though, people, especially since it was so close to Christopher Nolan's, it's right between Christopher Nolan's and Tim Burton's. So they're so used to this darkness that this camp was what? Why? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But to be honest, a lot of Batman's villains, besides the Joker, are campy.
Yeah. I mean, look at the Riddler.
He's campy.
the Riddler's campy. Obviously Harley Quinn is, who I want to get into later. Killer Croc. Come on, man. The Penguin. The Penguin.
Mr. Freeze is campy.
Dude, the Penguin, he's literally a penguin hybrid mob boss.
Yeah, I mean they're darker ones. Like Slade Wilson is definitely darker.
Yeah,
but he has, you know what I mean. Like him and the Flash, they have a little bit of both. They have these campy villains, and then they have these like serious. This is dark villains. So Batman and the Flash, I think, had two starkly different tones. It's either their darkest night or their brightest sunshine, and there's like nothing in between.
Oh no, absolutely not. So where did why did you start the platform?
I've always been into YouTube, and I used to watch it and things like that, but I never thought about starting my own platform until I went on a trip with a group of my friends. We went to Ghana. It was transformative. But we're on this like bus, and we're driving up this mountain, and we're like trying to pass the time, and I start to talk about Game of Thrones. I'm explaining it to one of my friends who hasn't seen it, and the bus is just dying. And they're like, yo, you need to share this. Like, this is funny. Like, just your take on things are funny. Da, 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 da. So I was like, I guess. And then I came back, and I really sat down and thought about it. I researched, like, how to start a page. And I was like, whatever. I'll start it. If in a month I don't get traction, I'll drop it. And then it was like I rapidly grew. So I started this page in the end of January, beginning of February, and since then it's like been rapid growth, and it's just me debating about things that I've always thought but I really didn't get to share. And it's like I'm actually being the change that I've always wanted to see on the internet, where I get to see girls who look like me, because I mean it is me, who's discussing things and actually going toe to toe with guys who think they know it all about this culture, and kind of try my best to break barriers. So it's been really fun, actually.
How actually that was one of the things I forget. I'm actually looking at your page now. I'm trying to figure out which post it was, but I know it was something, and I just saw the influx of people just like, oh, you're wrong, and I'm like, I mean, okay, but like, you know, calm down a little bit, dude. It's not that serious. It's just a comic book. Like I know. Yeah,
I get a couple of those. So I have my first post that was like, actually that's most posted. They're like, you're bugging. I think the biggest one was about Captain Marvel. I said men didn't understand it. That's why they were giving it shit, because it wasn't like the worst movie I've ever seen. And you know, they were really going hard on it. But I think more recently it was the Joker. I said it wasn't amazing. It was an 8-minute standing ovation. Like, it was a good movie. I mean, of course, Joaquin was amazing in it.
Yeah.
But I feel like hyped, and like people, I was getting like angry threats in my inbox. But a black man too, which is the most hurtful, was saying crazy things. And it was like, yo, y'all don't know Joaquin, right? Like, why is this serious to you? Like, what's going on? But it's like they feel like your opinion is wrong, but it's crazy because it's my opinion. The entire show is my opinion, my take on things. So there's no way I can be incorrect on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I may misinterpret something, but even then, it's like, yo, that's how I interpreted it. You know what I mean? It's art. It's all art, and that's how you're supposed to perceive it. That's the whole point of putting it out there. And it's funny because, you know, guys get really upset about it. And it's only men. I can actually say that. I only have like a 20% following of women, which is sad. I'm really trying to grow that. But the one time I wrote about a woman anime, I guess, which was Sailor Moon, it was like, yo, sis, I didn't see it that way, da da da. But then when I write about Dragon Ball Z, it's like, what are you talking about? This is crazy. You're dumb. So it's just totally different.
And that was funny, like, again, like me and my, I don't know what's wrong with my voice. So me and my wife went to go see the Joker. And I'm mad I spent money on it. To be completely honest with you. That's something I could have just like Redboxed or rented like when it came out on Amazon. Because I went in there thinking, okay, Joaquin Phoenix is going to be great. I'll ride for anything Zazie Beetz does. Like, I love her. Like, but I went and saw the movie. I'm like, okay, Joaquin Phoenix was great. The movie was okay. That evens out to a very good movie. But honestly, like, I don't think I'm ever gonna watch it again. There was nothing that really just like grabbed me. Was like, this was the most intriguing comic book movie, and it's like, and I'm tired of people comparing that Joker to Heath Ledger and like stop.
Look, if you changed all the names of everyone, you wouldn't recognize it as a Joker movie.
No.
It was a good movie, but like you said, people are saying that this is transforming the game. There was an 8-minute standing ovation. I'm not exaggerating. That's how good people are saying it. I'm like, I don't know what y'all on or what movie you saw, but that's not it. I would, if I heard a 40-second standing ovation from Heath, I'd be like, yo, yeah. But do you know how long 8 minutes is?
Yeah.
That's crazy. People don't realize how long that is. Like, yeah, time goes by slowly, but if you had to sit still for 8 minutes straight, that'd be crazy.
It was Dr. Doom in there? Because I remember there was a Fantastic Four comic book where he goes, the applause will continue well after I'm gone. Have the first one to stop executed. Like, I want to... Is there a video of this 8-minute...
It was in Venice, so they probably, like, lit off wine. It's probably his boys. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm calling shenanigans on that. I don't believe there was an 8-minute standing ovation at all. I'll even give you 60 seconds. I'll give you 60 seconds.
Even then, that's a long standing ovation for that movie.
Dog, I didn't. No, I'm not believing it at all. But then it's like, so I actually have an article coming out, and shameless self promotion about how this movie I think is going to hurt the comic book movie genre. Because now you're going to have companies buying things up specifically because they know it'll make money. But because let's say the movie, like you take the movie out and you don't call him Joker and you just call it like The Clown Who Laughs. You know what I mean? It's the same movie. But because it's called Joker, now people are like, oh, it's the best comic book movie. It wasn't a comic book movie. It was an interpretation of a character, like, and it was like they throw and honestly, I think, and spoiler if you haven't seen it, but at this point, you know, whatever. I think they threw Thomas, Bruce, and Martha Wayne in there specifically so they could actually make it a Joker movie. Because without the three of them and the god awful scene with the pearls, it's not a Joker movie. It's just some dude who's a clown.
And that's something I touched upon when I did my review, was that it's predatory. They see that we are buying, that we gonna cop immediately. We're all gonna review it. It's gonna be trending immediately, and they see that this is the hot thing now, is to be a comic book thing. And you're right. That if I see Martha's pearls drop again, I'm gonna murder her myself. I'm gonna do a Liam Nelson and just find a bitch named Martha and be like, I'm sorry, but it has to happen for them to stop doing this.
Yes, Frankie, she said she got so mad that she left the movie theater just looking for any woman with pearls.
Right. That, just like, right, you don't even gotta be Martha. And I live in New York. All I gotta do is go on the Upper East Side and it's done. Find one chick, yo. That's it.
Martha with the good pearls?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't, and I'm willing to bet money the next one they do like this will probably be the Riddler or Two-Face.
Oh, well, I mean, they're already doing that Batman movie with Robert Pattinson.
I am going to reserve judgment until I see it. I've never seen... Alright. So, I've seen 5 minutes of a Twilight movie. I come home...
Y'all always be talking about his Twilight movie. Every actor does his camp movie.
No.
That's how you get your foot in the door.
Let me finish.
You got the bag while doing it.
Let me finish. So I come in. So I'm not even shitting on Twilight. I'm not shitting on Robert Pattinson. Patterson or Pattinson?
I think it's Patterson.
All right. So
right?
Yeah, I think so. So I'm not shitting on him. I come home and it's on, and it's like, I'm like, there's this like big fight scene about to happen, and I'm like, all right, I'll check this out. And I'm like, I see this fight scene. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. This is dope. And then at the end of it, it was all a dream. I'm like, you know what? Fuck this series. Just off of that alone. But he was in this movie where he was a bank robber with his brother, and he was incredible. And I was like, and this was like the only thing I've seen him in. I was like, okay, I can give him props on that because the movie was good. I'm not taking anything away from the people who did Twilight, because trust me, if someone said to me, hey Mark, you want to do Twilight? Yes.
Right.
Absolutely. Give me the money.
He never gonna work again because of Twilight.
No.
Never. He's doing this out of the grace and the love for the theater. He has a movie out with William Dafoe that just dropped called The Lighthouse.
Yeah.
Chilling. It's all in black and white. It's shot on film, not like digital, and they he kicks the shit in it. So I was like, y'all play my boy Robert. He did Twilight, and then since then he's been doing indie movies. In the way that like Jay Gyllenhaal did like one. I'm trying to remember what his one big movie was, and then he did all indie movies after. Or even Chris Evans, we all forgot he was in Perfect Score and all that shit. All these movies, like all of them do it. The only person I know truly is actually Joaquin Phoenix and Meryl Streep. The only two people that skipped over that kid. Not Meryl Streep. She did Death Becomes Her.
Love that movie. I will not take any besmirchment of Death Becomes Her.
I like her, but it was camp. Was that not?
Yeah, it was. It was very camp. Dude, Bruce Willis had a porn stash.
Yes, he did. He did. This is was this post or pre Die Hard?
This was post. This was definitely post. But Bruce Willis is one of those dudes who'll do it. You give him money, he'll do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he must have like massive student loan debt. I be seeing him and shit. I'm like, damn, Bruce.
Doug, there was a poster for one of his Die Hard movies, and I don't know if it was real or not, but it was him in a wheelchair, and I could not stop laughing at that.
No, that wasn't real, but he did do it till he old enough.
Yeah,
he did do a movie. I think it was Red.
Yeah,
where he was the old it was all old action stars being old.
He was in I think he was in Red. Was he Red 1 and 2 or just 2? I can't remember, but he was in Red, and I love those movies. He was like, I love the joke he made in G.I. Joe when he's like, "You okay?" He was like, "Cholesterol's a little high."
Cause he old.
Yeah, he's well aware of who he is, and I respect the hell out of it. But unlike other people, I'm gonna give Robert Pattinson like his due. Like, I'm not gonna judge him for it until I actually see the movie. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he could be phenomenal for all we know. And I like the fact that he put out a statement saying that like he doesn't really look at Batman as a hero. Like, you know what I mean? He's a darker, like, anti-hero kind of thing, which is something that like that's essentially what he is. There's a nickel's difference between him and like Daredevil, like, you know what I mean? And they don't really consider Daredevil a hero. He's an anti-hero. He's a street hero, like, you know what I mean?
And I think the thing that makes him different than Daredevil is he has the means and the influence to change Gotham without donning a cape.
Yeah. And I love that that's been recently I know that's been like a giant thing where it's like, why put on a cape, dude? You're like a quadrillionaire. Like, actually do something. And I think the White Knight actually touched on that as well. When then we find out, they find out that have you read The White Knight?
No, I haven't.
I won't spoil anything. It's really good, but they get into like Bruce Wayne and what he does like with his money and stuff, things that you don't know. But this is a series based on Joker going sane and then doing his best to try to save Gotham. It's actually a really good story.
I'll check it out. I know. I mean, they touch on him being a bit philanthropic, right? Which is like when you're a billionaire, there's no way you can't be philanthropic or you'll be killed by taxes, right?
Yeah.
So any good accountant, he is an accountant, he is a financier, they're gonna do that, right? But at the same time, he's a billionaire. You know what I mean? If Bezos rolled up in Chicago and wanted to change Chicago, he could. You know what I mean? Like, is it Chicago that's like everybody gets shot up all weekend? Yeah, but like that's what I'm saying. Like, if he wanted to go to these cities and change it, if he truly wanted, if Oprah rolled up in these cities and really wanted to change it, she could without donning the cape. And I just always thought that's interesting. There's something more psychological that's going on with him where he has his hero complex. But I hope it's a horror film. I think it'll be dope as well.
I've been waiting for like a really good like horror like comic book. Like I'm hoping like they do it with Brother Voodoo and like really touch on like how like get really deep into the hoodoo and like the voodoo and all the stuff. I want them to like the spirits, the zombies, like just like everything that really like all the myths and legends of like New Orleans and like the Haitian culture. I really want them to dig into that. I think that could be the one. and if not him, then like maybe like Damon Hellstrom, like you know what I mean. So,
or even Blade. They're working on Blade.
oh man, and like Blade's whole thing is based on like the supernatural lore, like not even just vampires, and like Marvel has an opportunity right now to debut so many of the darker like characters with Blade. They have Man-Thing. They can introduce Morbius, Damon Hellstrom. Heck, Brother Voodoo could pop up and things like that. They have a grand opportunity right now, and I hope they actually take their time to do it. And I don't even know if I want a Blade movie more than I appreciate a really dark Blade TV show.
They're doing a show though, no?
Oh.
Or is it a movie? That's not. Is that going to be on Disney Plus? They rolled it all out at the same time, so
Yeah.
I couldn't tell what was going to be on what.
Yeah, it was like a massive wave of like, hey, all this stuff is happening now, so find out now or just wait until Disney Plus comes out.
Right. That's coming out soon too.
November
I'm
12th.
thinking, bro, HBO Max as well.
Oh, that's HBO Max. That's like their like I guess they're darker like HBO.
I don't know what it is. Because there's already HBO Go, HBO Now, and now it's HBO Max. But this is the thing. I don't think it's darker because, one, HBO is dark enough.
Yeah.
But they have the Ghibli movies going on. So, like, Ghibli isn't dark. I mean, it's obscure, for sure. Oh, shoot, I'm going to sign up. It starts the 12th. I'm going to sign up because it's definitely going to crash. This show, Disney Plus, definitely going to crash.
I'm certain. Yeah.
The day it dropped, there's no way they have servers. Because we all if it drops 12 o'clock, 12:01, we're all going to be on it.
And what's funny, and what's even funnier, because it's not even just like the Marvel heads, it's the Disney heads that I really got thinking are really crashing. Because like the idea of being able to watch every Disney movie whenever you want, not having to wait for it to come out of the vault and then like all the stuff that there's no way that the server doesn't crash. And I understand, well, again, it is Disney, so they got Disney money, so who knows.
The shows are going to be short too, like 6 episodes.
Oh, that's perfect. I think a lot.
Yeah, so they're going to be elongated like movies.
I think that's a good idea. I think they learned their lesson from the Marvel Netflix shows, where it's like some of them just went on way too long. Like the I think Iron Fist would have served better if each season was only like maybe 6 or 8 episodes. Defenders was a perfect like 8. I think it was 8 episodes. It was like perfect. Just get in, get out. But you have a show like.
I think nothing would have fixed Iron Fist. Except for if they made him Asian, like people begged.
All right, we can have this conversation. I think that Danny Rand, certain characters should stay their race only because it's important to who they are as a person. I don't think the Danny Rand character works with Luke Cage if he's Asian. Because
why not?
Luke Cage can't check Danny Rand on his privilege and have the same effect if he's an Asian American or if he's just Asian in general. I don't think.
Yeah, he can. Yo, he's still a rich Asian. Yo, Asians.
Hello. Go.
Yeah, Asians are definitely living out here, and they definitely have way more privilege than a black man from Harlem. Asians are getting shot in the streets, and he still would be rich. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it'd be fine.
I can agree with that to a sense, but I'm wondering more whether or not, like, so someone like you may understand it. I may understand what you're saying, but I don't know if the general public understands that that's actually a thing. You know what I mean? Because no one really hears a lot of, you don't really hear Asian privilege, like, you know what I mean? Even though it is a thing, but it's not something that the general public and the culture actually knows. So I'm not sure if it hits the same way for everybody. Like, you know what I mean? And plus,
I think we know what rich privilege is, though,
yes,
right?
Yes.
So that could be it, and we also know that anyone who's not black has a privilege.
Yes.
Right? So you could still speak to, you think it would actually be more nuanced. You think you and I are in the same playing field because we're both people of color, but to be honest, we're not. We're not. You're rich. You have a rich family. You're a billionaire. And yes, you're Asian, but that stigma is not the same. What are your stereotypes? That you're smart and talented? You know, I mean, small meat, but...
Charmaine, sorry. Because my homegirl Charmaine's gonna get on me for that comment.
Sorry. That's the only one, man. That's the only one.
It's funny, actually, you should if if she'll hear it, she'll probably follow you. She's awesome. She another female or woman of color who actually does a podcast called Militantly Mixed. She's black, white, and Asian, and she talks about that and she's hardcore into like nerd culture and like will be the first one to check a dude on like their privilege. Shit, I wish I could have her on too, but yeah. So like I get it, but it's also so. Let me retort by saying this: why not create another character? Like, why not create more Asian characters? Why not create like another like Asian billionaire? And if they're gonna do like, and again, it kind of comes down to like the name, because of the name Iron Fist. Now it's like, oh, now people are excited. Like, you know what I mean? Instead of going like, instead of prepping for it and going, hey, we're gonna try this new Asian character and make him a billionaire, or even use the Iron Fist and go, hey, we're not gonna use Danny Rand. Danny Rand has died, and now we're gonna do a descendant of the Rand lineage. You know what I mean?
Or even like Danny Rand's little brother he adopted some kid from Vietnam or something like that. You know, but I agree with you on that one 100%. I think that they're putting out the names that we know.
Yes.
Like I said, it's all about the money. So if they're not gonna push but even then, Black Panther was not. I mean, he was hot for sure, but definitely not on the level it is now. You know what I mean? Marvel did that. And also, like, their fantastic team. But before that, nobody was sweating Black Panther before Chadwick rolled up and showed out on Civil War.
And I'll say it, and I've said it on the show before. T'Challa was not even one of the 5 best parts of that movie.
No, I thought that was the point, though.
It may have been, but Thor and Okoye are my 2 favorite characters in the MCU, and Okoye's only been in what three movies. Like, yeah. She destroyed that role, man. Like, she was every time she was on screen, even when she was on screen with Killmonger. To me, she was the life of the scene. Like, she had the best lines.
Incredible.
She had the
What's
best.
What's her name? Danielle.
I have no idea.
But she's from The Walking Dead.
I don't watch that. I'm not a Walking Dead person. I watched season 1, and I was like, that's okay. I got halfway through episode 1 of season 2, and I cut it off. I was like, wow, that's the worst TV I've ever watched in my life. I'm never going back.
It gets progressively worse.
I've heard. And I was like, I'm good. A friend of mine gave me the one of the omnibus. I think the first omnibus, so I'm just going to read that. And I'm like, I'm fine. You know what I mean? So, before your voice goes, I have a fun game to play. It's called Over, Accurate, or Underrated. I will give you a character, and you will tell me whether or not they are over, accurate, or overrated, accurately rated, or underrated.
10.
Alright, so the comic book version of the Joker.
Accurate.
Accurately rated?
Yeah.
What would you say if someone called him, why would people say he's overrated?
Because he's saturating the market. People love him so much. I think older versions of him are overrated, even the Killing Joke. But recently, this dark stuff that's been going on from like Endgame and stuff like that, I think it's accurate.
From Endgame?
Yeah, so there's Batman Endgame, where the Justice Buster suit comes out, and it's just
the Joker. Yes.
Yeah,
he
Joker
infected.
has that contingency plan, and we find out he's immortal and things like that.
The New 52
and 3
one.
Jokers is coming out. I know that's gonna be fire.
I remember that. That was New 52, and that was when Batman almost killed himself killing the Joker because he was like, I've had enough of you.
No, I think he does kill himself.
No.
He's dead, yo. The creator said he's dead.
No, trust me, because there was another issue after that because Gordon was Batman for a little while, and the whole New
Nightwing is there. Why would they give it to Gordon?
Do me a favor. When you get a chance, Google Commissioner Gordon Batman armor.
Yes, and then I'm gonna read White Knight after that.
All right. The comic book version of Luke Cage.
Overrated.
I
thought he was cheesy when I read it.
Yeah, I don't think Luke Cage was actually a good character until Brian Michael Bendis came in and started using them, and then I believe it was Al Ewing who did a great job with them. I don't know if people know how to write him.
Right. Because he becomes a caricature of like a Tyler Perry comic book.
Yeah.
I mean, it's supposed to be blaxploitation, right? But I'm not a fan of that either.
Unless it's Black Dynamite, I'm not with it.
Yeah.
So
Jessica Jones as well. Put her in there. She's overrated. I mean, the first season of her show was phenomenal, but the actual, like, her as a character was like, eh.
I actually had her on this list, too. I thought season 1 of Jessica Jones was really good. I thought season 2 was really bad. Season 3 was good, but I didn't appreciate it until the very last episode.
I didn't like that because what's her name became a vigilante. She now was crazy. She had to go to jail forever. Like Jessica Jones was murking niggas and shit like that. Like, you know what I mean? That Daredevil and Punisher, they were doing all the same things. But because this woman stuck up for herself and was like, nah, this is not going down like that. Now she crazy and she gotta go to jail forever. I just was like,
Well, I think the problem was they ruined her character in season 1 by making her like this really like whiny character who kind of just like, you know what I mean? Like, it was like, I don't know if they wanted you to hate her in season 1, but that's how it came off. So I think because she got such a negative response in season 1 and it carried over to season 2, they're like, all right, you know what? Fuck it. We're just gonna give everybody what they want and put her in jail.
Right. Although I did like her turn into vigilante. She put in the work, and I supported her.
Yo, she killed that dude. I laughed my ass off.
Yo, he deserved it. That man was wilding. I was like, what's the issue? He needs to die.
All right. Hugh Jackman's Wolverine.
Overrated.
Yep.
Overrated.
A friend of mine.
Although Logan is a classic, but everything else was like, nah.
A friend of mine. First off, the Wolverine was terrible.
And he's 6'2".
I'm leaving that alone because the height thing doesn't really bother me. I just look at it as an alternate reality. But a friend of mine said it best when he goes, Hugh Jackman is too good of an actor to only play Wolverine okay. But
Facts. Because, you know, when I saw Jake Gyllenhaal, however, as Mysterio, you saw Far From Home, right?
I saw it. I'm one of the people, like a movie like that, I see it the day before it comes out. I'm there for it.
It's amazing. But yeah, so in the beginning of the movie, spoiler alert, at first I'm like, Jake is way better than this. Why is he acting this way?
Yeah.
And then once you find out that he was acting in the movie, like he's acting as someone acting, and he saw the true Mysterio, I was like, yes, that is acting. That's the level of Hugh Jackman is. He has Oscars. What's going on?
Yeah, and but then when we see him play Logan, you're like, wow, you guys wasted almost 20 years of this when all you had to do was make Wolverine rated R this whole time. That's all you had to do.
And that means that was the director, not him.
Exactly. So a lot of it I can't blame him, and I have a phrase where I go, they're good for the material that was given, but like it was just like it could have been so much more than what it was.
Agreed.
All right, so next up, Batman. Just Batman, period.
I would have to say rated. I don't think people overhype it, but it's a story that transcends time. It's something that we time and time again love it. You're still reading it, I'm still reading it, and I mean it. I think it's fine. I don't think people are like overhyping it like it's not as good as what it is, and I think he's actively getting better as a character and as in movies.
So I didn't get into full disclosure. I didn't get into Batman comic books until maybe like hardcore until the beginning of this year. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Until a few years ago when a friend of mine told me to read New 52. I think it's called Year One. He's like, read Year One because it like redefines who the Riddler is.
Right. Or
maybe it was 0 Year. I can't remember, but it was one of those. And I read. I was like, this is great. And so I started getting into the New 52. Then I fell off for a while. Then the beginning of this year, I started reading Scott King's Batman, and I fell in love with the character again, and I understood what everyone meant by like him being as good as he was. So I was like, okay, yes. I can kind of dig it. How do you feel about people who say Batman wins because he's Batman?
No, that's one thing. And there's something I just retweeted that was like, this woman's like listing things like, would Batman beat this person? Would Batman beat that person? Yes. And then she says, would Batman beat Cindy Crawford on a runway? And he thinks and he goes, how long does he have to prep? That's Batman, yo. How long does he have to prep? And in that series I was talking about, Endgame, that's the whole thing. Batman meets you, he finds out everything. He's a detective. He finds out everything. He's intelligent. Everything he needs to know about you, all your flaws, and then he has a contingency plan. His motto is stay ready so you don't gotta get ready. That's the motto I've imposed on him.
Who wins? Who wins in a fight with a year's worth of prep time for both of them, T'Challa or Batman?
Batman. Yo, what? First of all, in a year's fight, Batman has figured out how to, and he's rich. He has vibranium now, right? So the suit and everything is done. He probably has and he'll have a suit ready to fight T'Challa. And T'Challa he knows Kung Fu, but not on the level. He was in the League of Assassins. You know what I mean? He's strong, things like that.
I'm gonna say this only because I know the source material. T'Challa knows more fighting styles than Batman because on top of the stuff he knows on Earth, he spent a year with the Skrulls.
That's true, but Batman has spent time with the entire Justice League.
Yeah, that's you know what? Yeah, this is one of those things where I think if you survey 10 people, you're gonna get 10 different answers.
Agreed. But it would be a really close fight. It's just Batman. They're both rich too, so you can't say it's not like Batman pretends like he was raised poor. That's how resourceful he is. You know what I mean? Maybe because he lost both his parents.
Here's a good one for you. They meet in the alley. T'Challa spills a drink on Batman. Who wins that fight?
No, nothing quick. T'Challa. He has strength.
I'm just picturing that fight breaking out because T'Challa spilled some champagne on him.
Givenchy, because you know that man got on Givenchy. Yeah. People like, yo, this is crushed silk.
Harley Quinn.
I mean, she's rated. Actually overrated. Besides the animated series version of her, and I mean, Margot Robbie, I think would be cool if she did small little 1-minute shorts on Instagram. But I haven't really seen her, and to be honest, I'm not entirely optimistic about this new Birds of Prey movie. But she's a new character too. People forget that she's from 2005. People are acting like she's. I mean, I'm more than likely wrong, but she's recent. I was alive.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
was alive and old enough to watch it when she was debuted.
Yeah, she was her first appearance was Batman the Animated Series. So she's still in the infancy of her character. Yeah,
so they're making it seem like she has the background of Poison Ivy or you know what I mean? Or Vixen or something. I'm or Selena Cat. No, let her grow first. You know what I mean? But in the animated series, she's dope. And I have to say that Margot Robbie plays her wonderfully.
Yeah.
But they don't quite know how to write her yet for live action.
Yeah, I dig that, especially because when you look at her, I love not just how she not just when she delivers the lines, but her facial expressions when it's going on. When she goes, "What's that? You want me to kill everybody?" And it was just how she switches from crazy to sane, and seemingly like a drop of a hat is it's dope.
But Margot Robbie is a treasure. That's why she's excellent.
That's true.
And I bet you she doesn't listen to what the director says. Because clearly that director was saying things, and her and Will was like, "We're gonna do what the fuck we want."
Yeah. Will was they were we just gonna do this. It was oh yeah.
I remember watching the Honest trailer for it, and they were Will Smith trying his hardest to save the movie, being amazing, trying his best.
Goku.
I give a lot of shit for Goku. I guess rated. No. Overrated just by the way that people fight hard for him. You know what I mean?
I wrote an article a while ago and I wrote down I did characters in the Marvel universe that could beat Goku, and most of them I think 2 of them are telepaths, one of them was Scarlet Witch, and the other one was Iceman. And the comments I got from people, one of them ended with, it was 2 paragraphs, and they were both really well written. And then the second one, he just went off on me, told me I didn't know what you're talking about, and blah 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 blah. Then he ended it with "Go fuck yourself," and I just commented with a smiley face. All right, see you in the next article.
That's great. You know what's funny? So I wrote one about Thanos beating Goku. And to me, anime fans are way meaner than comic book fans.
Yeah.
But first of all, I write these on Instagram. So when I get those 3-4 paragraphs, I'm like, are they pulling up the app on their computer and typing? Or is this all on the thumbs? Because it's a perfect peer-reviewed argument that's in my comments. But yeah, so Goku rarely wins. Like as a character, yes, he's dope. I do want to say that. But he rarely wins. Most of these fights, he wins out of a technicality, or they like him, or they're like over it, or someone else kills the person, not Goku.
Yeah.
People forget that.
All right.
So yeah, you're right. He's a little over. I think his strength is overrated, but him as a character is regular.
Nice. Vegeta.
Yo, he's underrated. He's underrated. People like him, but like when I talk about him, people are like, "Ah, he's whack." I'm like, nah. He's a great father. He's a reformed man, and he's fighting really hard. He has to work so hard to get what he has, which is dope. And he bagged a billionaire with no bread.
He did?
Yeah, Bulma.
Oh yeah, because that was, I think, the next season he had like that ridiculous porn stash, and everyone was looking at him like,
yeah, yo, she had a living boyfriend. He took her, took that man's bitch. That man almost killed himself. Oh my god.
Bitch.
That was the greatest display of athleticism I've ever seen.
Yo, bitch shows me.
His bitch. No cheese. He got no bread, yo. Just took her. Amazing.
The character Harry Potter, not the movie series, the character.
Underrated. I did a post saying that he would beat this new anime character called Asta, and everybody forgot where they came from. Everyone forgot. What? They were going crazy. I'm like, but that's the anime thing too. Like I was saying, they go beyond reason because it's like, oh, I trained for 100 days and now my ass cheeks can create an earthquake when I fart. You know what I mean? So their power levels are crazy, and it's just so whenever you say someone can beat them, no matter who it is, I can say Dark Phoenix can beat Krillin, and they'll be like, what? You know what I mean?
I actually
It's
put
crazy.
First off, I wish I could use the title and the ass cheeks would quake, but I know iTunes isn't gonna accept it.
Right?
But yo, I actually think I used Phoenix.
That's been flagged.
I think I actually used Dark Phoenix as one of my examples, and they was like, no. I'm like, she eats planets. Get out of here.
Sword universe. Get out of here.
Superman.
Overrated, man. I hate that man. He is just Jesus. I mean, it's just to me, his storylines don't have any creativity. I mean, and maybe because he's the baseline, right? He's the foundation of superheroes. But I watch it, I'm like, every time I'm bored. I like Supergirl though. She's dope.
All right, 3 more for you. The character itself of Captain Marvel. Carol Danvers, I should say.
Oh, okay. I think she's rated, but the movie was underrated.
I agree. I like the movie. I went and I watched it, but again, like you said, like I'm a guy. You know what I mean? So like there are some parts about that I'm just not gonna get. Like, you know what I mean? So like I can understand stuff like that when someone says to me, like someone asked me what I thought about Black Panther, and I said, well, I can give you 2 reviews of it. I was like, my honest opinion, it was an 8. It was a really good movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. As a black man, it was a 10. Like,
10.
It meant something to me. Like watching, like I took my grandmother. It was me and my grandmother, and my wife. We went to go see that because I wanted to make sure that I got to go see a movie like that with my grandmother, who's essentially been like my mother for the last 20 years. And it felt good to see the look on her face when something happened, and when we were driving back, and she was talking about all these like really strong black women and like these black superheroes. Like it felt for her, it felt good, and like just being able to watch her, it kind of added to what everyone was talking about why this movie was so important.
Yeah, and then like black people wasn't writing for her because they were so hung up on the fact that it wasn't Monica Rambeau. But I was like, y'all, this movie, besides Carol Danvers, was littered with black people.
Yeah.
And then they weren't caricatures. They weren't like dancing sidekicks. These were black people who had agency, who were doing real things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maria Rambeau flew to space, no questions asked. They weren't like, oh, you can't handle this, I'm going to do it alone. She was like, yo, you trying to roll? You know what I mean? Like, we did give her progress, for sure.
Yeah, and plus we found out that we are getting Monica Rambeau. Like calm down. Let things happen. It's like
exactly.
Like Miles, like people want to, we want Miles Morales now. I'm like, nah, let the Peter Parker story cook before we get like Miles Morales in MCU if we get him. Like you can't tell one story without the other.
Exactly. And let's be clear, Miles dropped and he was fuego. The best Spider movie yet.
Hands down, absolutely. Like a friend of mine usually he enjoys like the dark movies. He saw this and he was just like enamored with like how good it was, and like especially like the artwork in that, like the little random like they did this like this people may not know this, but you know this, like the little random like dots in the middle like comic books like from way back when. They added little things like that, these little hints of color that you'd only see in like the Sunday paper when they were in color, and like these little hints of things like that that made this movie so well. And on top of the story, on top of the emotion of the story, and it was like, and there was a lot of tragedy in that movie too. Like, you know what I mean? And it was, yeah, that's a whole other story.
No, I agree. I agree.
The Fantastic Four.
I think we give them their propers. I think the movie studios have it.
Yeah.
But we give them their propers. Because even when I mention things, people are like, yo, they talk about Frank. I mean, he's not really Fantastic Four, but, you know, he's part of the comic. They talk about, you know, Reed Richards' son and things like that. They talk about, like, Susan, Storm, and things. So I think that they're still very relevant, and they're rated accurately, but we just haven't found an accurate depiction of them yet.
Makes sense. All right, and final, Peter Parker.
Yo, I think he's rated regular. Spider-Man he transformed the comic book game. You know what I mean? And as a New Yorker and things like that, him being poor, him, you know, just trying to make it through. Although I don't think Tom Holland's poor because he went to Europe. But he's so relatable. I love him.
All right. Well, I will end this because apparently I got the coughs now, so and I got to clear my throat. So before we go, let people know where they can find you one more time.
Yes, please check me out on Instagram, Fantastic Frankey, Frankey, like the key to your heart. Hopefully y'all get. Or you can find me on Instagram. I'm not as nice there, at Fanboy Fighter. You can find me there as well.
Oh, you're not as nice there? Oh, and that also funny story. That butter toast thing, my wife did that to me once. Like, she hit me up. I was on my way home and she sent me that gift. I was like, what the? And I was like, I'm saving this because this is
that same gift.
That exact same gift.
Yo, that's so funny. Did you show her that? People were hitting me up like, Frankie, what is wrong with you? It moves too.
Yeah, slowly. That's the creepy part. I didn't notice it. The one thing I didn't notice the first time I saw it was the look of pure fear from the butter.
Horror. Yeah, horror. Because he's dying, right? He's dying while this toast is getting pleasure. You know, it's dark. It's dark, man.
I love it though. It was absolutely like it was hilarious, and it was I was like, yep, this conversation is gonna go great. Thank you for doing this. This has been the Old Man Wade Show. You can find me at oldmanwade.com. Articles and more. More articles will be coming soon. Once we get things going, you can find me at Bam Smack Pow. Just Google Bam Smack Pow Mark. You can find all my articles there. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at oldmanwade.com. Yeah. Don't forget to share the article. Hashtag it, dammit, DAMMIT, when you share it. So I'm trying to get that going. Before we go, can you say "Damn it, Wade" for me?
Damn it, Wade.
Damn it, Wade.